So, hello, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Today is a great day. I have had a lot, put my glasses on. So I don't have on no eyelashes. And so, yeah. But anyway, just wanted to say hello. Thank you for tuning in to each and every one of you. God bless you. Oh my God, God bless you guys so much. Please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to click the bell to be reminded of each and every video I upload. We are on day 12 of 30 days to taming our tongue. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the book once again. I'm going to be showing you this book almost every day that we are going through this, because I want people to be able to make sure that they can get the book, that you can get excuse me. Y'all, before I get on here, I scream and kind of like clear my mind and kind of get all the blurps and the bloops and all that mess ups out of the way. It doesn't always happen, because I'm one of those types of persons that I have so much going on in this here brain, and it's all going on at the same time, and I want to get it all out. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So I will be showing you all this just so that you can get this jewel. This book has changed my entire life only in the 12 days that I've been reading it. It is amazing. This is a very inexpensive book. This book is about what to say and what not to say, how to say it, and how we can often fall into those times where we say, I can't believe that I just said that. How many of us have said that? Most of us. So I will put all of the information as to where you can locate this book, where you can purchase this book, we will go ahead and get into it. There are about, as I said, 30 different tongues in here. We are not talking about the spiritual tongues. We are talking about the tongues that we use to sometimes hurt people, sometimes deceive people. And this is just 30 days in which we are working at taming our tongues. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to begin with the name of the tongue. The name of the tongue that we are discussing on today is the betraying tongue. And the scripture reference for that one would be Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13. And it says, a gossiper betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret. That is out of the King James Version. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little notes here so I don't keep you here long. So betrayal is worse than gossiping. The reason betrayal is worse than gossiping is because gossiping doesn't necessarily harbor any ill will toward the victim. However, when one betrayals, they give up information, causing the other person to feel as if they've breached the contract, which they actually have done that. The one that betrays, the one that releases information or shares information that was entrusted to them, most of the time entrusted with an enemy, and commits a type of treason by violating the trust that the person has put in you in sharing the information with you. This can not only be hurtful, but it definitely can be ungodly. This is ungodly use of the tongue, and it's displeasing in the eyesight of God. Judas, let's talk about one of Jesus's disciples, Judas. Judas was a disciple, and he knew all about Jesus's whereabouts. He knew all about Jesus's moves. He knew everything about his comings and his goings. And he was able to betray Jesus as a result of it. The scripture says in John chapter 18, verse 2, now Judas, who betrayed him, him being Jesus, knew the place because Jesus had often met there with the disciples. So Judas knew where Jesus was going. He knew in the route in which he was traveling, and betrayed Jesus as a result. Judas deliberately used his inside knowledge of Jesus's habits to hurt him. And unfortunately, we do the same thing. You have a person who confides in you, and when that person confides in you and feels as if they're entrusting information, private information with you, that you're not going to let it go anywhere, sometimes we in turn release it. That should be not so. Judas eventually, as a result of his betrayal unto Jesus, he fell into self-loathing. He felt that he was no good. He felt that he was a betrayer, which he was, and he ended up ultimately killing himself. He couldn't live with the lies and the betrayal that he had done to Jesus. He couldn't live with being a person that was wrapped up in the web of betrayals, because if you are a person who is a betrayer and someone has entrusted you with their private information, and instead of you keeping it to yourself and hoping to help that person get through that, but instead of you helping to help that person get through that, you use it as leverage for your own self. Once again, you lack self-esteem, and you also lack a personal self or a personal sense of non-dignity. You don't have any dignity. People that have dignity and self-esteem think highly of themselves. They think well of themselves. And when you think highly of yourself and well of yourself, you're in turn able to do the same thing with other persons. Prime example, I often meet people everywhere. I never meet a stranger. I run into situations where I'm in stores and I might make comments about grapes or bananas, or I might make a comment about something, say in a Walmart. And a lot of times I get a great response. But there are also times when I get people who don't say anything to me. And sometimes that can make me feel a certain kind of way. But then other times I just go on about my business. There was a time where I was like, am I stupid because I done just sat up here and made this lovely conversation with this lady, and she looked at me like my name was Numbnut Chuck and she didn't want to have nothing to do with me. But what we have to understand is, number one, some people are not kind. Some people don't have self-esteem, and some people don't have that sense of dignity. And the reason I'm telling this story is, if you have a sense of dignity, you're going to speak to someone, whether it's speaking to someone verbally or speaking to someone with a smile. Who in their right mind is in a conversation with someone, or someone tells them, oh, these are some nice bananas, and you don't smile? You just look at the person like they're crazy. Anyway, I kind of went off track, but let me ask you all a question. Have you ever betrayed someone's confidence? Have you ever shared something that someone shared with you with someone else? I know I have. I know I have. I think I'd be fibbing to my own self if I said I hadn't. I know I have. I can tell you this much though. I don't make a habit out of doing it now, because I'm a changed individual. Ask yourself why you did it, and maybe you already know why you did it. I can just tell you this. I've always been, me, Carol, have always been a very likable person. I've always been a very giving person. I've always been a very helpful person. I've always been the type of person to just almost, in a sense, overcompensate to people, those that I know and that I don't know. But I too fall into doing things that are not pleasing in the eyesight of God, and betrayal definitely is not it. We have to ask ourselves, when we are falling into betraying tactics, why we did it. What was the payoff? Was it worth it? Did we gain something? And if in fact you are doing things just to gain something, something's wrong with that heart. Something is seriously wrong with that heart. We need to be the type of persons that are kind, the type of persons that are loving, the type of persons that are understanding, and the type of persons that are forgiving. You guys, forgive the flash off and on in the background. My television is on. What you want to also ask yourself is, were you being envious of the person? Maybe envious of something they had. Was there unresolved conflict between you and another person that allowed you to feel like you were going to get them that way? Let me tell you something that I wanted to share. I have a lot of siblings, but I'm speaking of the sibling, 2 sisters and 1 brothers that I was raised with. And my one sister has I have a nephew, and my nephew always said this about me. He says, no matter what it is, my nickname is Dee Dee, that Auntie Dee Dee finds herself in, if the situation is negative on her part, if she's going to get in trouble, if she's going to be disliked, if she's going to lose friends, whatever the case may be, she's going to always tell the truth. She's going to suffer the consequences. And that right there touched my heart, because that's always what I've always tried to do. No matter what situation I've ever been in, I just found out, for me in my adult life, that it's easier always to tell the truth. Whether or not you're going to gain or lose, it's easier always to tell the truth. It's a great example. 9 times out of 10, the truth prevails. And lastly, you can be a witness to those that you don't even know that you're witnessing to. So ask yourself, if you have betrayed someone, have you repented of that sin? Are you still walking around carrying that, feeling bad about that? Because see, the thing about it, about all of us, is that we all have feelings. All of us have feelings. All of us have situations and things that affect us, and they affect us negatively. Some things affect us positively, but we are talking about betrayal. Betrayal is a negative situation. And if in fact betrayal affects you positively, we need to stop this little live camera broadcast, and we need to pray for you, because anybody that is participating in betrayal and loving it needs some real prayer. On the other hand, has anyone ever betrayed your confidence? Has anyone ever released information that you shared with them? Did you by any chance end up reaping what you had sown by releasing information of someone else? Probably so. Probably so. The Bible tells us that we reap what we sow. What we put out there, we're going to get back in return. Betrayal is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And the betraying tongue can go on and on and on. I don't mean the person bringing it, but the sad thing about a betraying tongue is kind of similar to gossiping, because it changes each time as it gets to another person. In the beginning, that person was wearing a blue shoe, but by the time it gets to the very last person, the shoe done went from blue to orange. We got to be careful, y'all. We have to be careful. Think about this. Have you released the offender, the one who offended you, as far as betrayal in your heart? Have you released them? Do you no longer require vengeance? Let me tell you guys a secret. I actually, and I've said this before, and I eventually will talk about this in greater detail, because my intention in my channel is to teach. My intention is to empower. My intention is to encourage. My intention is to definitely share love, and be an example, be a good, positive example to everybody. So I don't want to go in too much, because if I go in too much, it won't be a need for me to do a video. But I was molested for years as a child. And as a result of that, it affected me as a young child. It affected me in my teenage life. It affected me in my first marriage. It affected me just throughout life. It was a trail that went on. And like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to do a video on it. But what I guess I was trying to say is vengeance. We should not have vengeance. The Lord said, vengeance is mine. Yeah, in our flesh, we want to get back with that person that said this or that to us. But trust me, boo-boo kitty, you do better by allowing God to deal with the situation. Don't take things into your own hands. Don't take things into your own hands. Let God handle it. Because excuse me, ma'am or sir, if he handle it, it's going to get dealt with in the way that it should get dealt with. It's going to get dealt with in a way that the person is not going to even think about doing it again. So if you haven't released a person, if you're still feeling vengeance, you are still bound to that person. He or she is still controlling you. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want nobody controlling me. I don't want nobody nowhere controlling me. Hence one of the reasons, by the grace of God, I have never been addicted to anything. Not one thing. Because anything that is able to control you and you don't have no control on it, that's a problem. Let whatever the situation is, my brother and sister, let it go. Let it be. Because you will be the one suffering. You will be the one hurting. You will be the one still dealing and tussling at night in your sleep when you're supposed to be sleeping so you can get up and go to work the next morning. You'll be the one not being able to have peace of mind. Let God handle it. Let God take care of the vengeance. God saw it before you did, and he allowed it to happen. For whatever reason, accept the situation as a part of his sovereign plan for your life. Regardless of what it did to you emotionally, regardless of what it did to you spiritually, but ask God to forgive you and get you back on the right track. Learn from the burn. Learn from the burn, but do forgive to live. Learn from the burn, but do forgive to live. Don't let anything that someone has done, said, thought, or felt about you be your problem. It's not your problem. Remind yourself of what the scripture says in Romans 8:28. And it says, all things work together for the good of those that love God, who have been called according to his purpose. God knows everything. He knows every situation. He knows every circumstance. He knows everything you've done. He knows everything I've done. Ask God to forgive you when you fall off track. But let the vengeance die. Learn from the burn. But remember, forgive to live. Decide today to strive to be a trustworthy person. Someone that people or one person can say, I love this person. I can share my deepest, most inner personal thoughts with this person. And I know that it ain't going nowhere. You want to be a person that someone can depend on and guard their secrets with at all times. You don't want somebody to think, oh no, I can't tell Carol nothing, because if I tell her something, it's going to be like a bucket with a hole in it. It's going to come right out and everybody going to know it. If you already have a trustworthy friend, thank God for that rare jewel in your life. Because guess what, boo? They are few and far between. Well, that's it, y'all, for our betraying tongue. Don't fall into the tactics of a betraying tongue. It's just not worth it. I'm going to read the affirmation of the betraying tongue. And not betraying tongue. I keep saying betraying tongue. And the affirmation to say today reads, I am a trustworthy person and can be depended upon to keep a confidence. You want to be looked at as being a trustworthy person, a person that won't just blurt out everything because you got mad at the person. You know, even when you're mad at a person, don't betray them. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, the anger will die. Like I said, and this is going to be what I say when I close. I'm not going to say it again just now. We're going to go over the meddling tongue, which was chapter 11. Chapter 11, day 11, the meddling tongue. And what I do is I always go back after I go on the current day, and I speak of what the day before, some pointers. So I'm gonna give you guys 3. I always give 3. Meddlers are so awful that they're not like gossipers. They go right to the source. They go right to the victim to gain personal, private information from the subject, from the person. Doing crazy stuff like, I heard you sick. Are you going to be okay? First of all, when somebody is sick, that's not how you go up to them and ask them. We got to go up to people in compassion. And 9 times out of 10, if somebody is sick, they don't want you coming to them asking them, I heard you were sick. These type of questions serve no other purpose than to satisfy the inquiry mind. You just being straight nosy. Remember, we were talking about this meddling tongue and how you can try to be a meddler and fall in the realm of being a nosy Nelly or nosy Ned or nosy Rosie. Don't nobody want to be described as being nosy. I'd rather be described as being caring and thoughtful. Don't pry, instead pray. That's my favorite one. Y'all, I pray about everything. Y'all don't even know. I pray about y'all. I pray about our YouTube journeys. I pray about the YouTube gossip. I pray about the things of the world. And I'm not saying this for no pat on the tongue, because guess what? Y'all can't give me nothing that God can. So it's not that. It's not that at all. I'm just letting you know. In everything you do, pray. Don't pry into people's situation. If they want you to know about their situation, they will tell you. But don't pry. But do pray. Lastly, but definitely not least, for the parent. I'm a parent. I've got 3 lovely children plus 1 bonus baby, so I've got 4 lovely children. They're all grown. Thank you, Jesus. And what I found is we have to let our adult children be adults. We have to accept the fact that they are grown and that they don't need parenting. They've already been parented. So they don't need to be reparented. Let them make their decisions and let them make their decisions, make their choices, and God will continue to work with them. One thing that you have to remember is the consequences of good and bad decisions is life's best teacher. With that being said, I have just shared with you all the betraying tongue. This is day 12 of the 30 days to taming our tongue, as well as an overview of day 11 of the meddling tongue. I am having wonderful comments coming through on this study. My girl Moon Pie, she is so, you guys, if y'all don't know Moon Pie, if you guys don't go over to her page and just, she's so cute too. She's just cute and just very supportive. I've had great content response, I guess I should say, from her. I believe there's one called His Lady. She's been reading and viewing my videos and things, and this has been helping them. It's been helping a lot of people. And I want you guys to know that my intent in doing this is not to say as if I'm a know-it-all, because trust me, if I was a know-it-all, I wouldn't be reading the book. It's helping me, and because it's helping me, I want to in turn help you. I just figured a 30-day challenge that maybe you guys can work together with me would be some good content. And I'm having very, very good comments come in every single day. Now, I will tell you this. We are probably off by one day because for some unknown reason, and I know most of you who are spiritual will catch this, for some unknown reason, every time I go to upload the video, it doesn't upload until the very next day. Go figure. Okay? Every time. It doesn't upload until the next day. It'll say uploaded, but it'll say please wait. And it does not upload until the next day. I can videotape anything else and it'll go right through. But this spiritual stuff, it's given me some issues. But the Bible tells us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. So things are not going to go as we always hope that they would go. But I am going to continue to push forth. Please, please, please share this with all of your family members. Share this with all of your friends. I just want to tell you guys, like I said, I'm sharing this. This is not a Bible study. This is not a teaching. I am sharing. However, I will let you know, I am an ordained minister. So I am ordained or authorized to preach or teach. But that's not what I'm doing. I am simply sharing with you all some good news, sharing with you 30 days to taming them tongues. And you know what? I am willing to bet that there ain't a soul on this world that does not need his tongue tamed. Yeah, it is. There's some souls in this world that haven't. They newborn babies, they 2-year-olds and 1-year-olds who don't know right from wrong. But all the rest of us, we need our tongues tamed. Even them kids is 3 and 4 years old, because you know what? Sadly, them babies is hearing exactly what their mama and daddy is saying and repeating it. So yes, we do need to continue to go on this journey of 30 days to our tongue, to taming our tongue, and I will yet continue. So with that being said, you guys be blessed. I want to show you once again, this is a book. This is what it looks like. This is a book by Deborah Smith Paguz. It is called 30 Days to Taming the Tongue. I will put in the description box where you can purchase it. And just remember that this is an effort to help, to encourage and not to discourage, to get us all on the right track of where it is that God would have us to be. And in the process of it, the wonderful thing is this: no one is better than the next one. Well, you all be blessed and encouraged. Thank you so much for spending time with me on this morning on day 12 of the Betraying Tongue. And what I want to tell you guys, last and closing, is this: if you find yourself in a situation where you've had to deal here recently with a betraying tongue, don't betray them. Instead, pray for them. I love you guys. Keep continuing to come back for this great content. Be blessed, encouraged, and strengthened. And I will see you all on tomorrow with day 13 of 30 Days of Taming Our Tongue. Mwah. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to be reminded of all, and click the bell to be reminded of all of the videos that I upload. You guys be blessed and be encouraged. I am looking at my hair and looking at my face, and I'm telling you, I look like, seriously, mellow yellow. I really do. I don't have on any eyelashes or anything, just my glasses so that I can see. But ooh, when I tell you I look like my mama on today, I look like my mama on today. God bless you guys. You guys, I always love coming here, always love sharing, and I hope that you guys love the content. Be good. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.